Welcome back to the 2006 Big Ten Women's Gymnastics Championships from the campus of Michigan State University. Complicated sport, gymnastics, for these Big Ten Championships. 7 teams out on the floor competing 4 events at a time. Each team will have 3 byes throughout the competition. 6 gymnasts compete on each event. They are, however, able to drop the lowest score. In our first rotation on the vault, powerful Michigan uneven bars will host Illinois. The balance beam, Minnesota and Iowa will move to the floor exercise in a bye. Michigan State, Ohio State, and Penn State University. Well, let's get underway with Michigan and junior sensation Lindsey Brook on the vault.
She scored a career-high 9.875 against Georgia. Nice big vault. Yurchenko laid out with a full twist. They are off to a very solid start, having a 9.7 for their first vaulter.
Talk about being dominant. They have won the last 7 Big Ten championships. They have 14 in their trophy case. Our next athlete, Jenny Daly from Michigan.
On the same vault, very tall gymnast. So she gets nice distance, but it was not as high and certainly not as good a landing. She had the big step backwards and slightly off center.
But what a great way to start for Michigan. You know, being the powerhouse that they are, and also so dominant, to draw the vault first is a huge advantage. They're not going to fall down here.
They've done some great vaults, many great landings. That one had a step. Of course, that'll have to be the deduction there. But you're right, Tim. They've started off really, really strong in this event.
Our first look at the University of Minnesota. This is senior public relations major Laura Johnson on the balance beam.
Laura is ranked 3rd in the all-around in the Big Ten. And as I mentioned at the top of the show, she's ranked in the top 2 on 3 of the 4 events. This is the only event that she's not right up there in the top 2. Certainly a solid performer.
And Minnesota has been solid. Both of the athletes before Laura hitting in the upper 9 range. They are hitting on the treacherous balance beam. That's always a question.
I like that little wiggle there to get ready. Make sure you're completely in alignment before you go.
I think you used to do that too, Kathy.
For those of you who haven't heard, the balance beam is 4 feet off the ground and just under, slightly under 4 inches wide.
As if 4 inches wouldn't be bad enough, right?
Sometimes it looks more like a tightrope. Just sort of depends on where you are in your training. These gymnasts look like they're well into the season, hitting. Tiny little balance break there. But she really squares up. You can see before every pass. Nice landing on the dismount. You're really starting to see more of those swing-through dismounts off the side. They're not as difficult as some of the bigger, high-flying dismounts off the end of the balance beam. Less risky, easier to stick, so they put their difficulty within the routine.
But another solid routine for Minnesota. That's 3 in a row for them.
Consistency will be the most important thing. Here she swings that leg right through to a full twist. Comes up with a good landing.
Moving over to the uneven bars, this is Kara Pomeroy from the University of Illinois.
Very long, tall gymnast. Wow, can she show off the swing? She is ranked 7th, tied for 7th in the Big Ten on this event. Nice transition to the low bar, right to a handstand.
Nice long lines.
Gorgeous front starter. Good difficulty in this routine. Double twisting flyaway.
Wow, and a stick.
Excellent bar routine. Nice variety of skills. Not the typical stock routine, so you see a few different pirouetting moves. Nice transition to the low bar. All good handstands. And an exciting dismount. But everything takes so much longer because of her height, and boy, doesn't it look good.
Yeah, it makes it look better. It really does.
You can enjoy every spectacular second of the routine.
But actually does make it a little bit more difficult. But look at that right there. Well, let's check back in with Michigan on the vault. This is sophomore Katie Lieberman.
Serving as their anchor on this event, final gymnast.
Scores usually escalate as you go through the rotation. Last one, usually your top athlete.
She's doing a Yurchenko full as well and laid out big vault way away from the horse. Not as perfect a form as I've seen in terms of totally straight legs and pointed toes, but certainly straight enough. And the distance from the horse was the biggest part of that vault.
Yeah, big power, I would say. I don't think Michigan could have done much better than that.
Watch what I'm talking about in terms of form. Legs not quite totally straight and toes aren't perfect, but look at that, a tiny, tiny little hop on the landing. The biggest thing was the distance from the horse, just overall dynamics.
Well, that will just about do it for our first rotation. We will come